Well, joining us now is Sonia Irabor, a filmmaker whose debut feature, SuperNowa, is currently one of the most watched films in Nigeria on Prime Video. As writer, director, and producer, Sonia has worked across film and television, contributing to major projects while steady building a voice rooted in honest, emotional storytelling. Today, she joins us to talk about SuperNowa, her creative journey, and how she uses film to explore mental health, identity, and the lived experiences of Nigerian women. Welcome to the show,
Hello,
Sonia.
thanks for having me.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New many years.
Such a long time.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys know each other?
We actually go way
interned
back.
together.
We go way back.
2009.
Yes.
Are you
2008 actually.
No, it was 9.
Where
Where did this reunion happen? Where did you guys?
We interned together actually.
Yeah.
We used to be on radio.
Yes.
At Inspiration FM with Dan Foster.
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've been walking. We've been in this at a long
We've been at it for a while.
I was still in primary 5 that time.
Don't say that. Why bring such energy to this wonderful reunion?
Now, Sonia, you've described SuperNowa as a deeply personal film. I actually read the article, the interview that you did with our sister station, This Day newspapers, and you spoke about it in very deep, like it was very deeply rooted for you. Yeah. Can you take us to the moment or the season in your life where this story first began to form, and what emotional truth you knew you had to put on screen?
So I can trace it back to a therapy session a few years ago. I had been battling anxiety, which I have done since I was about 10. And as an adult, you're sort of like, by now, like, the clock is ticking, let's be done with it. And my therapist told me to kind of take a breath and go back to when I was a child, go back to that happy place and just sit with my younger self. She didn't tell me to talk to her. She didn't tell me to interact with her. She just said, sit there in that happy moment with your younger self and kind of just bask in that feeling. And so I took that on for a few weeks. I kind of was revisiting that space. And then I started talking to my younger self. And I think that was the moment where I had a better understanding of what it is I was experiencing, and that was kind of a catalyst to a more specific character arc for SuperNowa, for Noah. Yeah.
Okay.
So SuperNowa is more like your personal story, or like maybe with extras, if I'm.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a brainiac, so that was pulled from somewhere else. But certain aspects of the mental health journey, especially that particular experience with anxiety and not knowing how to, especially you said you're in primary 5 when we were teenagers, but back in the 90s and the 2000s, we didn't have the words to articulate a lot of those things we were feeling, and so I was writing it in hindsight, sort of giving name and voice to a lot of those things I was feeling that I didn't realize I was.
Okay, so before I let her come into asking us questions, so like when you were putting together this film, how was the support from your parents? Like, I mean, were there things you confronted them about, maybe you're growing up and all that to, come to bring in this, masterpiece?
So, not really. I think that has been an ongoing thing. I've been in therapy for a while, so that's been an ongoing thing. And my parents have sort of even, sort of called us in and said, my brother and me, and said, let's talk about, those feelings you had when you were younger. And my parents are really good that way, or have become really good that way, let me say. But when I was writing The Parents, for example, I kind of pulled from friends' experiences. I grew up in a house of 4. There's 2 kids, 2 parents, so it's a very small, completely different type of dynamic. But I spoke to different friends who have larger families, who were the youngest in a family where the youngest is 12, the oldest is 30. And what that distance does to, the dynamic and the relationship people have with their siblings and their parents. So it was informed by such a number of things, and kind of just amalgamated to this story.
All right, then. So I have let's say, double-edged question for you. Yes. So you've said the film, and even in just your explanation here about the cost of, about it being about the cost of silence.
Yes.
What kind of silence are you interested in exploring here? Is it silence in families, in schools, or silence around mental health in general in African homes? And to add to that, what conversations do you hope that SuperNowa will spark between parents and children, or between students and teachers after people watch it?
Okay. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to start with the second question, and I'm going to forget the first, so you're going to remind me. Okay. So in terms of conversations with, I think, adults, guardians, let's say, and children, I think, for me, all I hope it does is give people a chance to see that children should be taken more seriously. And I think it's true even now that a lot of children don't want to speak up. They don't know how to speak up. They're too afraid to speak up. And so until they feel safe, and then, they sometimes, it just all comes out. So I think for me, I hope that what it does is it allows adults and guardians of younger people to be patient and honestly just take them more seriously. I think that's kind of my hope. And in taking them seriously, consider what they might be experiencing and not to sort of downplay it because they're young and they don't know, but to kind of treat it with the seriousness that it deserves. Because it's not about the age of the person. We're all experiencing life at different stages. So I think that's kind of my general hope.
Yeah, and just very quickly on the type of silence, because
yes.
there's silence between, in African homes, there's silence about mental health in
yes.
itself. So what were you looking to explore in this movie?
I'll be completely honest, all of it. I think the silence surrounding mental health comes from, again, what I'm saying about the lack of confidence to speak up, a lack of understanding about what someone is experiencing internally, and then how to articulate that externally. So I think for me, that silence is first about the silence surrounding personal mental health, and then the silence in the home, the dynamics of certain parent and child relationships is such that, you can't ask questions, you can't ask why, you can't, a lot of people feel there is such a barrier to entry when it comes to those honest conversations 100%. With parents. So I think that, that is also a silence. And then you find out, you're like, oh, your child is so well behaved, she's so quiet. No, she might be going through something that she just cannot speak about because she's afraid.
Yeah.
So it's I think to me, they're not separate things. I think they all go hand in hand. Silence is a form, it's a form of defense. It's a form of fear. It's a form of confidence and healing that's happening internally as well. But I think it has to be all of it together.
Yeah.
All right, so real quickly, because we're about to wrap up. Now, as a creative in the business, what are those hurdles you had to, maybe should I say, overcome to get to where you are? And you come from a family of media greats. Your dad and mom, they are, our bones.
Yes.
Was that pressure for you to go, toward their path? And you guys, seeing guys work in the same, or intern in the same radio station, that's were you thinking about at some point maybe going to the media space as a presenter or producer? And then also, we are young adults. We are our parents, in, let's say, some years.
Yeah.
What do you think we need to unlearn and things we need to adopt to be better parents? Maybe better than our parents, where we're coming from.
Okay, give me that last one again.
What do you think we need to unlearn or adopt to be better parents than our parents or where we're coming from?
Unlearn. I think maybe not unlearn. I think unlearn just it makes it sound quite difficult to do. I think we need to divert or sort of redirect a lot of the things that were kind of presented because they did their best with what they had or what they understood that to be. I think discipline is the first one we need to kind of redirect in terms of going from that level of, dictatorship in parenting. And I think as a guardian in general, as an adult in the world where there are young people, I think it's important to, of course, make sure that discipline exists, but I also think it's important for a child to feel safe enough to come to you with anything. And I think that is a sort of disconnect that really, really has been such an issue.
How safe is it for a child to come to you with anything? I know I'm asking this question. I want to go deeper because of time. But how safe is it, considering where we come from, African home, for a child to come to you with anything?
But that's what I mean. It's a redirecting, and it's not something that's going to happen at once. Okay. But I think it is happening with certain parents at the moment, where it's like, because again, we can't get too deep, so it's quite difficult to answer
I'll leave
the question.
Maybe when we go
Because I think though that the safety of any child, a child wants to say what's on their mind. They don't have that filter just yet, right? And so they develop that filter because they're either shut down or they sort of experience life and they're like, oh, there's certain things I can't say, or I should reword or restructure the sentence so it's not offensive. But I think when I say anything, I just mean that children should feel safe enough to be like, hi, you know, I had a banana today, but also, hi, I'm feeling X and Y, I'm being bullied, this teacher is, you know, whatever it might be, just so that there is that breath.
Yeah.
And hopefully that isn't the case where the child needs to come to you with something heavy and deep, but it's the same anything that exists there that exists in the sort of more light-hearted conversation. So that's for me what I...
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and congratulations on your
so
new
much.
film.
Thank you.
Of course, I saw the post on it. It's climbing up on
Yeah, so
Amazon.
sure.
That's amazing. So
Thank you.
congratulations
Thank you
once
so
again.
much. Thank you.
Appreciate you.